Hi guys, I am Dr. Lavanya Seshasayee and I'm a women's mental health specialist and a recovery specialist. So what is my topic for today? I'm going to talk of how the support system I came up with to deal with mental health issues in clients, irrespective of whether they're women or men, is much better than traditional psychological approaches to therapy. So what is the support system called? It is called Women's Self Empowerment and Advocacy. Okay? So gender stereotyping in traditional psychological therapies is very common. And we need to explain how. Okay? So to start with, let me just talk about the difference between sex and gender. Sex is a biological construct, whereas gender is a social construct. There are some basic biological differences between women and men, but these differences are overblown, and that is what constitutes gender. Gender is the identity society gives you on account of your biological sex. Examples of gender-based stereotypes that clinicians often indulge in could be as follows. They might say that men and women should behave in sex-appropriate ways, and this can cause a lot of pressure on the girl child. Boys suffer too when they're told that they cannot be emotionally expressive or cry in public. They might say that for women to be mentally healthy, they must achieve fulfillment through their roles as wives and mothers. Clinicians often indulge in these stereotypes. They might encourage a female client who has interests and abilities related to the medical field to become a nurse, whereas they might encourage a male client who has the same interests and abilities to become a doctor. They might encourage a female client who is being abused in her marriage to stay in the marital relationship and be more understanding of her husband's stress, whereas the same rules may not apply to men who are being abused. So they might have different treatment goals for women and men. For instance, they might measure a man's progress in therapy by an increase in his ability to provide economically for the family, by how assertive and independent he becomes, whereas a woman's progress in therapy could be gauged by an increase in her nurturing and caretaking abilities. So they might indulge in biased labeling by applying diagnostic categories and labels differently to men and women. So a woman with multiple sex partners could be called promiscuous or loose, whereas a man with multiple sex partners might be called a Don Juan. So the concept of penis envy in psychology and psychiatry is very unfair. What is this concept of penis envy? Freud says that a woman during the normal course of her development realizes that she can never have a penis like a man. So this is supposed to fill her with anger, envy, hatred, jealousy, whatever. And that is why, according to Freud, she succumbs to depression. But I say that it is the social validation of the male role that makes a woman succumb to depression or hysteria for that matter, and not any penis envy. Also, this concept of penis envy is telling people that it is better to have a penis than to have a vagina, and that's not fair to women. All of these flaws prevent clients from responding positively to therapy. Also, in mental health settings, clients are treated as cases or patients on account of a so-called purely objective medical approach. And this does not make the client feel the doctor is being empathetic, and the client gets dehumanized in mental health settings. It is high time we adopted a woman-centric and woman-friendly approach to therapy in mental health settings. These flaws exist irrespective of whether the mode of therapy is family therapy or cognitive behavior therapy, psychoeducation, or interpersonal and social rhythm therapy. These flaws have to be corrected if clients have to respond positively to therapy and get benefited from therapy. The support system I practice is bereft of these flaws and is called WSEA, Women's Self Empowerment and Advocacy. So guys, if you like today's message, please subscribe to my videos, like, share and comment on the same. Spread the word and spread the love. And guys, thank you for listening.